You know, those days were terrible days for me. And sometimes, many a times, I've really tried. I've tried my best to quit smoking, but I can assure you, it is one of the most difficult things to ever do. I'd say they're kind of addictions that are just not common addiction. Unasikia tu unataka sigara paka unashindwa ni nini hiyo. You know, you feel that ni kiu fulani unasikia hapa, unasikia tu kiu ingine hawezi explain. Unaona? Ilikuwa ni ngumu. I had reached a place where even friends, I remember a friend of mine alikutana na mimi sometimes now back then he told me, Morris, hizo lips zinakaa black. Mimi nakwambia hiyo sigara punguza. You know, nilikuwa nimevuta sigara na ukiniona tutajua. And I was also a master in cigarette. I tell you that there are days I remember ningekutana na mtu nimwangalie hivi. Ana sigara, hasmoke. Nikimuomba lighter lazima angenipea. Kwa nini? Niko sure huyo mtu anavuta sigara. You know, that is how I was deep into it. You know, ukipatana na mtu ako na kiberiti na ni mvutaji wa sigara, huyo sio kawaida. Huyo ni a total addict. Huyo ni chain smoker. Labda sasa ametake to break. And I tell you, I'd look at you and know. Other people say you look at lips. Me sio lips. Kuangalia tu najua. And let me tell you something. Yani hiyo wakati nilikuwa na tamani. I remember there are times I used to take like 6 cigarette na tupa kwa choo so that nisivute tena. And I tell you, that very night I'd wake up, hata kama geti imefungwa, nitaenda niruke, niende nitafute sigara. That is how much I was an addict. And I remember I used to do exercise. In the morning, ningejaribu kukimbia, nasikia kifua inawaka moto. It was so terrible. I used to ask people, how do you quit cigarette? How do you do that? And for 10 good years, nilikuwa kwa sigara. You know, like I remember there were times I was only triggered by what I see on TV. If I see someone smoking on TV na sina sigara, I'd go right away and buy. Naona lazima nivute ndio nikate hiyo kiu. I remember there were times nilikuwa na travel kutoka na Nairobi kukuja Nakuru. Kwa barabara nasimamisha gari, naambia wewe simamisheni gari, nataka kujisaidia. Immediately I get off the vehicle, I take a cigarette na ninawasha. I know it is you're out there smoking. I know how it feels because I was there. I was in that pit. Na naweza kukuashua getting out of it is one of the difficult tasks you can ever do. And right now as we speak, I don't smoke. Miaka zimeenda sivuti sigara. Miezi zimeenda sivuti sigara. I'm just like that and I don't feel that urge to smoke. I know that sometimes nilikuwa ninaamuka asubuhi na kabla sijafanya kitu yote, before I even talk to anyone, I'd go light a cigarette, smoke, because hiyo ndio kitu nilikuwa naona mbele yangu. I remember there were days ilikuwa imefika point ya nikiona color ya brown, that was a trigger for me to smoke. When I look at a woman, unashanga, why is this guy looking at me like this? Mimi nakuangalia tu na kucheki na kuangalia, lakini mimi hata akili yangu iko kwako. I'm just imagining how will I get that cigarette, how will I smoke. You know, I remember there were days nikiona mtu ametupa, labda sina pesa, sijanunua sigara, I'm somewhere, maybe we are chilling out, mtu ametupa sigara imezima na hata iko karibu labda kuisha kabisa, and I see it, I'll go pick it, smoke it. That is how I was. Na ninaweza kukuambia nilijaribu every time. I remember there was a day I went to the chemist. Sijui dawa inaitwa aje. There is something that looks like cigarette. Enye ukivuta inatoa kitu fulani, sensation fulani, inakusaidia kuacha. Mimi nakwambia nimenunua hizo vitu. I tried using them. I've used them. Miezi kadhaa, it never worked. You know, natumia, ikifika masaa naenda navuta sigara ya ukweli. So it never helped me. And I tell you that that addiction, how it felt on me, it was so overwhelming. You know, there are times I remember ulikuwa hata sivuti sigara, I'm just like that. ukipiga hivi kifua ni moshi inatoka, kwa sababu umevuta sigara sana. It was one of the hardest kind of addiction in my life. Lakini naweza kuambia, even as we speak right now, when I see someone smoking, it doesn't disturb me. Hainisumbui hata kidogo. When I see color brown, I used to wonder, now even if I'm going to quit cigarette today, or maybe try not to smoke, hizi colors za brown zote zitaenda wapi? These women wenye ni brown wataenda wapi? In my house I have a brown chair, itaenda wapi? So guys, I want to tell you, my life was in shambles. I was so deep into it. I never even for a moment or minute think that I can ever get out of it. And I believe you are there. You are also struggling like me. Una struggle. Unajua kwamba hiyo life huwezi toka. I have friends of mine who have really tried. Wale tulikuwa tunavuta na wao sigara. I remember when I stopped smoking cigarette, because I had that desire. I wanted to quit. I really wanted to quit. Not just a feeling, but a strong desire that this one, I have to get out of it. So I remember that a friend of mine came to visit me. Tukakutana na yeye downstairs hapo chini. So he was smoking every day. Asubuhi ni kawaida yetu ilikuwa kuvuta sigara. So he was smoking, and in the morning when before I eat take tea, lazima ningesmoke. So wakati yeye alikuwa anavuta sigara, anajua lazima nitataka. So alivuta kwenda kumaliza, then he was like, Mourinho, fake ndio inaisha, manzi yetu hujaitisha. Then I realized sina hiyo kiu. Hakuna kabisa at all, and I was shocked. And I was like, hata sikuwa na realize una smoke. Nikamwambia mimi manze sitaki. And that day is when I realized mimi I'm no longer in that bondage anymore. I'm no longer an addict. It has happened. I know that you're also waiting to know how it happened. Stay tuned for the next episode.